Hey, how's it going today, everyone? Jay Barrino here, continuing StarCraft Mass Recall, a StarCraft Brood War remake, and StarCraft 2. I swear I can hear myself saying that in my own dreams. Mission 2 of the Iron Fist, let's go! UD flagship Alexander holding perimeter orbit over the Dylarian Shipyards, outlying Dominion Trade Center.
Receiving incoming transmission.
Captain, Vice Admiral Stukov has informed me of your flawless sortie upon Braxis. I must commend you for beginning our campaign with such a decisive victory. Our TAC teams have decrypted the Dominion's data link and have gained access to Ming's most guarded files. However, our work is not yet complete. We have ascertained the location of the Dylarian Shipyards. These shipyards, serving as a fueling and repair station for the Dominion, house a number of functional battle cruisers in dry dock. To assure that our domination of this sector remains uncontested, you are to assault the shipyards and liberate as many of these capital ships as possible.
Gentlemen, I recommend that you launch this attack using the utmost caution. Dominion Command can typically reinforce its outlying bases within 16 standard hours. You should expect some sort of reprisal from Emperor Mengsk shortly.
Ah, the turncoat. I suggest that you pay keen attention to rank when you address the captain and myself, Lieutenant Duran. Is that understood?
Of course, Admiral.
You're beginning to show your age, Gerard. Give the boy some credit. He just tipped us off to a preeminent attack.
However useful he may prove to be, Alexei, he will always be a traitor in my eyes. And you know that I cannot abide a traitor.
Only too well, Gerard. Captain, when you are ready, you may commence with the operation. Once you have commandeered the enemy's battle cruisers, be prepared to repel the Dominion reinforcements when they arrive.
Alright, Steel battle cruisers defeat the Dominion strike force. Let's head to the Dylarian Shipyards. Dominion Fleet Maintenance Complex, Dylarian Shipyards. High orbit over Dylarian Shipyards.
Once your forces have landed, Captain, you'll need to escort our pilots to the battle cruisers themselves. They will be able to commandeer the ships and turn them over to our control.
Alright, let's do it. Give me those fatty medics.
All right, troops, listen up. Each squad will have a medic assigned to it to patch up the wounded, but that doesn't mean you can get careless. Stay frosty and get the job done.
Okay, so these should be the really good medics with the really good healing rate, which should allow us to keep these Marines alive while they attack into bunkers. This first section is pretty straightforward. I will be quick saving a lot. That was an unnecessary one, but we just have to attack into a couple bunkers. I think there's like 4 or 5 total. And with the medics, we should be okay. We can't quite out-heal bunkers, but we're pretty close, if I recall. Can I get in there? Yeah, see, yeah, okay, so the healing rate on these medics is, I think, what they should be. Very, very high. It's just the range that they have is really, really low, so they have to really get in there and close to your Marines. Now, let's just be on the lookout for other bunkers that we want to destroy before just running the pilots in. That's one thing on this map you have to be very, very careful of, is make sure that you don't just run your pilots to beacons that you think might be safe when they may not be safe. All right, back him out. Okay, just the smallest amount of micro is enough to make sure that you don't get absolutely smoked this map. We'll just keep stimming, because we can heal through the stim really, really quickly with the really good UED medics. All right, get in there. Again, we just move this guy back. We don't even have to move him out. When we're stimmed up, we destroy the bunker so fast that the bunker can't kill us while we're being healed by the medic, even though everything in the bunker is focusing on one Marine at a time. I think the other beacon's up here, but there's bunkers at the top here that would stop us from being able to get to them. So let's come on up and handle these. Kind of handle this first section fairly flawlessly. Not perfectly. Well, almost perfect. I mean, not losing anything to me counts as perfect, right? But someone's like, well, you just let your Marines float into one of the bunkers, so not quite perfect, and not quite perfect at all because we lost a Marine. But who cares? We're about to win. Let's go ahead and move him back just a little bit. Move him back just a little bit. Perfect. Okay, and that should be everything. Yeah, so we got rid of those, so let's go ahead and start moving these fellas to their respective beacons. Because apparently it only takes one person to pilot a battlecruiser. I don't know if the UED has special skins for their battlecruisers. Obviously, these won't. These will look like the Retromod battlecruisers because we are indeed stealing them from the Dominion. All I know for sure is that the UED has special skins for Marines, Goliaths, and tanks. And then obviously Valkyries, their own skin. I don't know what they have special skins if... I think the Academy, last mission we learned. I don't know about battlecruisers, though. We will see eventually. When we have the ability to build them, we'll know. Okay, we have ghosts and medics on this section. This section is pretty straightforward. There's only a couple tanks that you have to deal with. So for the I remember the idea here is you want to move up and you want to lock down tanks and or blind them. And then you can easily just walk the pilots to where they need to go. So like here... we can lock this down. And I just want to decloak to see if we get hit by anything else. We don't. So he's locked down, which gives us an opportunity to start moving up with the medics. Medics can take at least one hit from tanks.
Sir, permission to blind that tank with an optical flare.
Okay, you don't need to ask my permission. You just do it. Let's go ahead and get this one before he's no longer locked down.
Right away.
So that one was able to spot me because this tank wasn't blinded. So it's locked down, but it still has a sight range. So even though this guy's blinded, he has a very limited sight range, but his allies are spotting for him. Now that these are both blinded, neither one can see me, and I can leave them alive, and it's not really a problem. So that's how you can use these two skills in conjunction. To be honest, I probably won't be using them very much in the actual macro portions of the campaign. I just don't see much of a reason because we're going to be destroying things. It's kind of like you send in a tactical force first to see what you can take out. Let's move on up here and see if we can find another tank to flare. I'm basically just making sure that this is clear for my pilots to move to. And it definitely is. The fact that my medic can just walk up there is fine. And again, because medics can take at least one tank blast is exactly why I'm comfortable checking with a medic, because I know that they can get in and out, no problem. Ghosts are good to obviously scout with because you can cloak, but that things on the high ground won't reveal themselves to you if you're cloaked. Okay, so I think there's another one up here, but we don't have vision on it. Now, if I had not played this in the past, then this would be very much like a gotcha kind of section.
Alright, no sweat. Ghost reporting.
Because, you know, you'd think, oh, the last two beacons, and then suddenly you get hit by a tank. Ah, one of my own battlecruisers giving me vision. Get in there. Flare it. Okay, perfect. that was a little, oh, it can still see me. Why can it still see me? It is blinded, right? Did it have vision from something else? Let's try one more time. You know what? I think it's because these battlecruisers are neutral to both me and the Dominion, so that's why it was also giving vision to that tank. Anyway, it's blinded now. We're absolutely safe. So let's head on down and grab these two. Gotta remember to quick save. Again, this section really isn't that challenging. You just gotta take the tanks out of commission without actually destroying them. It would be interesting in macro maps to go in with a tactical force of ghosts and medics and blind and lock down tanks and Goliaths and science vessels first, and then you go in with your main attack force, but the amount of effort that would take over just making a big squad of units.
Sir, the nuke silos are secured. We've got 4 nukes on standby, awaiting your orders.
Okay, now we have nukes. We have 4 nukes. I think you really only need 3 total for this section, though. The only major tricky part, it's not really majorly tricky, is figuring out how to get rid of the 3rd set of units, because I believe it's on the high ground with ramps on both sides, so you just need to get vision up there. Okay, so once again, ghosts are going to be our major group of help. Let's just cloak and scout this out. I don't remember the exact layout, so let's check. Let's see. Again, there's 3 big sections that we're going to nuke. Let's go ahead and lock that down. and see what we can see up here now that it's locked down. Loses its ability to see. Okay, so let's just nuke right here. Can't quite get the Science Vessel, but we'll destroy it with our Marines and Goliaths after this nuke goes off. Let's watch it, though, because it's satisfying. And boom goes the dynamite. Wonderful. Let's get on up here and try to get rid of this before it is no longer locked down. The Marines and Goliaths in this section specifically are only going to be used for that. I think this section is clear now. Again, I have vague memories of how this mission works, but not an exact memory of the layout. As it becomes revealed to me, I remember it a lot more. One thing I know they changed from the last time that I played in Mass Recall was that they made the second section with the battlecruiser attack more challenging. I believe that they removed the ability for me to use Yamato gun, so that'll definitely make it harder. And you don't lose this mission if you lose pilots. It's really just you play until you either steal all the battlecruisers or all your pilots are dead in all the different sections. And then you either have enough to win the last section or you don't. So I assume that now that we don't have Yamato gun, the last section will be a little harder, and we'll actually have to focus fire a little bit and make sure that we don't just lose right away to the Dominion attack force. So I assume it's set up such that you actually can't lose pilots. So let's go ahead and nuke this. Doesn't appear to be any science vessel spotting me. I took that completely by chance there, hoping that there wasn't a science vessel. I don't know if there's any more in this section or not. All right, let's back up. There we go. Somehow the units from the bunkers miraculously survived. I think StarCraft 1 ghosts don't get enough credit for how much damage they do against small units. So like we can move up with the ghosts and the medics and get rid of these units really quickly. I mean, they can damage us really quickly. Ghosts only have like 45 hit points or something like that. How much is it? 45, I was right. I was actually right about something. So I have 3 pilots. But in terms of zealots, zerglings, anything small, marines, firebats, medics, our ghosts do so much damage. It's awesome. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is take a ghost back in this direction. Because the last group is up here. It's on this high ground up these ramps, if I remember correctly. So what we can do is cloak a ghost, move him to the edge so that we can see uphill, then cloak a different ghost, and now that we have vision, we can nuke up here. So let's do that, and then be ready to follow up and kill the units from the bunkers right after. This guy can decloak and come on down here. We can also just cloak the ghosts and kill the units from the bunkers. Not super necessary. Very cool. Very cool. You know what? I will cloak one ghost and move them up here so that we have consistent vision, and then we move up with our other ghosts and kill these fellas. Okay. It's just satisfying to actually kill units with ghosts because they actually do a lot of damage if it's the right type of unit. That concussive damage type from StarCraft 1 only works against small units. Everything else, it's like pathetic. I don't think there's anything down here. The last 3, or are there 2? Where are my pilots? Did I leave them behind? No, they're here. Okay, so one here, and then the last one must be down here. Let's check. Let's just make sure. I don't think there's any other units. Yeah, this section's all about the nukes. So we haven't lost any pilots. We've gotten all the battle cruisers. The only unit we lost was 1 Marine carelessly on the first section, right after being pompous about it.
Battle cruiser operational.
Cool. I think this next section we're going into, we immediately are under attack. We need our medics to restore. What's the hotkey? R. Okay. Our tanks get locked down. We just got to take them out of lockdown right away. Okay, tanks. I'm ready. Lock it down. Or not lock it down, but restore it. Can you hit it from back here? There we go. I did. Okay, our pilots start with our tanks. This is a weird section because all of our units are completely separated from each other. I don't know why the UED thought it was a good idea to do this. Good work, Stukov. Okay, so we're going to use the tanks, which aren't UED. I think it has to do with the fact that they're spawned and not built out of UED production buildings, maybe. The mod doesn't properly pick them up to be used in that fashion. Let's cloak a ghost and scout out a little bit here. Our ghosts are just so terribly useful. How much energy do I have? Lockdown's 100. Let's lock this down and then move up with the tanks and destroy it. So we have to use both groups of our units properly. Okay, decloak. So that's done. I'm pretty sure we can't get too far with the tanks. I don't think we're able to make that much progress with the tanks, only because we can't scout very well with them, so I don't want to risk it. Let's go ahead and siege up here. Get rid of some bunkers. We can move up with the pilots and move one of them down to the beacon. I really like the little UED beacons. Very cool. All right, come on now. Come on now. You're taking careless damage, siege tanks. It's like I want to creep up, but I don't know where there are enemy siege tanks. Let's go ahead and quick save, actually, for that exact reason. Keep moving up with the pilots. Once we get down to this beacon, if we can get down to this beacon without feeling like I'm taking a crap ton of damage, looks like there's a bunker over here we can destroy, then I'm probably going to give it a rest with the tanks. Because, again, if there was a tank like right here, I wouldn't have even known about it. And I would have very carelessly lost both of these tanks. Also, we know that there's a patrolling science vessel. Okay, so now it's the turn of this group to start looking for tanks and doing their thing. Let's move up a little bit. We have medics as well, who we might have to use to lock down and, you know, do their thing. Okay, let's lock down this tank. I thought there was another tank, like, further down here, but possibly not. Let's decloak. He didn't get shot instantly, so I think we're safe to move on up here and attack this. Even just having medic AI that doesn't just run them into enemies when you right-click them because they don't have an attack is awesome. They're smart medics. Okay, so now we have to find where other tanks are. There's science vessels all over the place. We know... What do we know? We don't really know anything. I guess I would just have to cloak and find out what's where. Let's take one of my ghosts that's already low energy. I also have a nuke, so I could use that. Oh, there's a science vessel. Maybe I could just nuke it. Just do that. Let's just get rid of this any way we know how, which is with a nuke. I didn't even check to see what was down there, so this is probably just a big waste. And... super satisfying. Ah, I see a tank over there. So let's decloak. I don't think the medic range is going to be enough to hit that with a blind. I think what I'm going to have to do is lock that one down. And get down and around over there as fast as possible and either destroy it or blind it. I thought there was a tank down here. Maybe it's up in this direction. The only way to know is just to sort of chance it. So let's take a medic who we know can take the hits. And, okay, there is a tank down there, but it can't see us. But we know it's there for later. So we're going to have to approach that with caution. The next one I'm going to have to destroy, not destroy it, but at least lock down, is this guy. Okay, and then you have a little bit of energy left, so let's come on down here. There is a random Goliath. Let's move on in. Make sure to keep this fellow alive. You can decloak. There we go. Let's move on up and see if we can destroy this before it's too late. I'm taking a big risk, though, just running up here like this. Please don't shoot me. Okay, there's the patrolling science vessel there. We got rid of the bunker that was in that direction. What I'm going to do is take this medic. Because we have high ground vision over here, we can see that science vessel as it's coming towards us, which means that we can hit it with a flare. Okay, so that's blinded now, so it can't detect us. This is going very well. I just don't want to forget that there's a tank over there. We're very close to linking our units up. Our tanks are just around this bend, but whatever. There might be another tank up there or over there. Okay. So let's take one more ghost. Yeah, this one has full energy, so let's take it and move up this ramp and see what we can see. That science vessel can't detect anymore. There's a tank here, so let's move forward just a little bit and make sure there's not another one. There is a bunker, though. We'll get to the point where we can move up with our tanks. We know now that we can move up with our tanks, though, which is awesome. So we can unsiege this. I mean, we don't have to destroy this, but I will, because it bothers me. Let's wait, though, because there's a bunker over there. Let's take the tanks and move down and around. We can take this beacon, this battle cruiser.
Battle cruiser operational.
Okay, and now we can get our tanks up here to start pecking away at that bunker. We can move our pilots up because we know that this area is safe. So let's grab this beacon. And now our units are finally together, which is great.
Cruiser operational.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Lock him down, lock him down. Lock him down! There you go. Okay, that was bad. Let's hope that there aren't any other tanks. I accidentally cloaked all that stuff. Okay, so we've got these guys alive still. We want to move forward and destroy this tank now. We know that there's a tank down there, too. Wow, that did not go that well, but hey, we're alive, we're fine. Let's cloak, move on down here, and just to see what else there is, because I think this is the last tank. It is, so let's just move up and flare it. Because all my ghosts are out of energy. Okay, it's blinded. We might as well come up and lock it down. Oh, how does it see me? Let's just move on up, and there we go. So now it's completely harmless, as opposed to, like, mostly harmless, just in case, because it still was able to see my ghost there. Now we should be able to safely just move up and take the last beacons.
Battle cruiser
But let's move
operation.
on over here, just in case, to check if there's another tank, because there might be. Let's go ahead and cloak. If there was a tank, he's going to be right in this fog of war.
Battle cruiser
Nope. Okay, we're good.
operation.
We're done. And that looks like the whole map. I don't think there's another section after this. We've stolen every battle cruiser
Battle
possible,
cruiser operational.
which is great. They're all going to make their way to the middle. I hope that these missile turrets don't just come online and start destroying me. I mean, I have so many battle cruisers, but...
Captain, we are tracking a large fleet of Dominion ships in your vicinity.
This must be the reinforcements that Lieutenant Duran warned us about. Captain, prepare our newly acquired fleet to battle the intruders.
Good day, Commander.
Okay, now I've got all of them. Oh, no, I do still have Yamato gun.
Frequencies open.
Huh. Okay.
All
Maybe we just have... No, we don't have fewer.
receiving transailing frequencies open.
Interesting.
Captain, we are being hailed by the Dominion flagship NORAD 3.
Well now, I don't know which militia y'all are from, but I advise you to back down, now. I'm General Edmund Duke of the Dominion Armada, and in the name of Emperor Mengsk, I order you to surrender your forces immediately and unconditionally.
Ah, General Duke. I expected your forces to arrive sooner. You should know that we represent not one of your ragtag peasant militias, but the combined might of the United Earth Directorate.
Earth Directorate? You mean to tell me you've come all the way out here from Earth?
That is correct, General. We're here to take control over this sector and its occupants for the betterment of mankind.
Over my dead body. I don't care where you're from, son. No one pushes around the Terran Dominion on my watch. All units, fire at will.
Okay, let's quick save. It looks like the Dominion has about 15 battle cruisers, which is a lot. We do have Yamato gun, though, so we're going to be using that.
Receiving all crews report.
Okay, Yamato, just Yamato everything. Just start Yamatoing everything at will. Okay, finishing up what we can. I think we still have a numbers advantage here. Just Yamato, they're the ones at half health. We're making ourselves a little vulnerable by Yamatoing, but that's okay. Try to keep these alive. Keep each of these alive. Perfect, okay. And we might have lost a couple, but not too many. Okay, that went really well. Didn't really wipe out any of the sections. Our survival rate and kills deaths was incredible. It's going to look really, really good on our stats screen. At this rate, we're even going to beat out the Protoss, but there's no way. Especially once we get towards the latter end of this campaign with the macro missions. We're going to be losing lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of Marines and medics. Alrighty, this has been Jay Barino. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye now.